Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure seekers. Today we're diving into the world of the United States Jefferson nickel, specifically the Monticello design issued from 1938 to 2003. While most nickels are common and worth only face value, certain dates, mint marks, and conditions have made a handful of these coins exceptionally rare and highly valuable. Collectors and investors eagerly seek these rare Monticello nickels, and auction houses have seen some examples sell for thousands of dollars. In this video, we'll explore the top 6 most valuable Jefferson nickels, uncovering what makes them special, why collectors compete for them, and how their rarity has affected their auction value. So let's get started. First up, the fascinating 1952 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, a worn condition coin that many people overlook, but collectors are actively searching for in today's rare coin market. At first glance, this small piece of American history may seem insignificant, especially when it shows years of circulation and heavy wear. But in the world of numismatics, even a circulated coin like this can carry surprising value depending on its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the buffalo nickel design that had been in circulation for decades. This new design featured the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side, honoring the third president of the United States. On the reverse side, the iconic image of Monticello Jefferson's historic Virginia home became the defining symbol of the coin's identity. By 1952, these nickels were being produced in large numbers to meet the demands of everyday commerce, particularly in the years following World War II when the American economy was rapidly expanding. Coins produced in 1952 without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not include a mint mark on its coinage during that time. Although millions were minted, many of these coins were heavily circulated, leading to worn surfaces, faded details, and sometimes even minor damage. However, as decades passed, surviving examples in collectible condition became increasingly difficult to find. The 1952 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark has several defining features that make it stand out. On the front, you will see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1952." Over time, worn coins may show smoothing on Jefferson's hair and cheek area, which is common for circulated specimens. On the reverse, the Monticello building is displayed prominently, along with the inscriptions, "E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America." In worn condition, some of the steps leading up to Monticello may appear faint, or even completely gone. These steps are actually one of the most important details collectors examine when determining value. Even if the coin has been in circulation for decades, visible architectural details can significantly increase its desirability in auctions. The 1952 Philadelphia Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities. Finding one today in collectible condition even in worn form can be surprisingly difficult. Many of these coins were used extensively in everyday transactions throughout the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, eventually disappearing from circulation or becoming too damaged to keep. Collectors today are constantly searching through bank rolls and old collections hoping to find key date nickels like this one. The absence of a mint mark, combined with its historical significance and age, adds to its appeal. Some collectors also look for rare die varieties or minting errors within 1952 nickels, which can dramatically increase their market value beyond standard expectations. In worn or circulated condition, a standard 1952 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may sell anywhere from $19 million depending on how much detail remains visible. However, coins that display better preservation, sharper features, or rare die varieties have been known to fetch significantly higher prices in auctions. In some cases, Jefferson nickels from this era with exceptional details or unique mint errors have sold for $19 million in online marketplaces and professional coin auctions. This means that even a coin sitting unnoticed in a jar of spare change could potentially carry real financial value. If you believe you have a 1952 Monticello Jefferson nickel, it's important to examine it carefully under good lighting. Look closely at Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello steps on the reverse side. Avoid cleaning the coin, as doing so can reduce its collectible value significantly. Store it in a protective holder to prevent further wear, and consider having it evaluated by a professional grading service if it appears to be in better than average condition. Collectors should also stay updated with recent auction results and market trends, as coin values can fluctuate based on demand and rarity discoveries over time. The 1952 United States Monticello Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark may seem like just another worn 5-cent coin, but its history, design, and collector demand tell a very different story. While many examples were lost to circulation over the decades, surviving pieces, even those showing signs of age, continue to attract attention in today's rare coin market. So before you spend that old nickel, take a second look. It might just be a small treasure hiding in plain sight, waiting to reveal its true value. Next up, the 1946 United States Monticello Jefferson Nickel with no mint mark, especially those unusual examples that appear in a yellow-toned condition after decades of circulation. Many people assume that discoloration means damage or loss of value, but in the rare coin market, even a worn or toned coin from the 1940s can attract serious collector interest and surprising auction prices. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, featuring the image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side. This design replaced the buffalo nickel and brought a new classical appearance to American coinage. The reverse of the coin proudly displays Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia, symbolizing American heritage and leadership. The 1946 Jefferson nickel holds special historical significance because it was minted just after World War II, marking the return to standard nickel composition following the wartime silver alloy used from 1942 to 1945. Coins minted in 1946 without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During this period, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark, making identification dependent on date and design features rather than a visible letter. Millions were struck for everyday use, but over time, heavy circulation caused many of these coins to become worn or chemically toned. The 1946 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark features Jefferson's left-facing portrait on the front, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1946." On older circulated examples, it is common to see smoothing around Jefferson's hair and jawline. The reverse side shows the Monticello building with the inscriptions, "E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America." Some coins develop a yellow or golden tone over decades due to environmental exposure, oxidation, or storage conditions. While this may seem unusual for a nickel coin, collectors often find naturally toned examples appealing, as they demonstrate authenticity and long-term aging. In some cases, the toning can enhance the coin's visual character and make it stand out from ordinary circulated pieces. The 1946 Jefferson nickel had a relatively high mintage. Finding one today with distinct toning and readable details can be more challenging than expected. Many coins from this era were lost, melted, or damaged beyond recognition through years of everyday transactions. Collectors searching for early post-war nickels are particularly interested in coins from the 1940s because they represent the transition back to peacetime metal composition. Yellow-tone examples that have not been cleaned or altered are often seen as more desirable because they reflect natural aging rather than artificial treatment. This demand has helped increase the popularity of such coins in auctions and private collections. In worn or circulated condition, a standard 1946 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may typically sell for $6 million depending on the remaining details. However, coins that exhibit attractive natural toning or clearer architectural features on Monticello can command higher prices. Auction records have shown that certain well-preserved or uniquely toned Jefferson nickels from the 1940s have sold for $6 million, or even more in competitive bidding environments. Rare varieties or coins with minimal surface damage can push values even higher, making it worthwhile to examine any 1946 nickel closely before spending it. If you come across a yellow-toned 1946 Jefferson nickel, it is important not to clean or polish it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and significantly reduce its collector value. Examine the coin under good lighting and look for strong details in Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello steps. Proper storage in a coin holder or protective case can help preserve its condition. If the coin appears to have sharp details or unique toning, you may consider having it professionally graded to determine its authenticity and market value. The 1946 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may appear ordinary at first glance, especially in worn or yellow-toned condition. However, its historical background, natural aging, and growing collector demand can transform this small coin into a valuable collectible. With auction values sometimes reaching far beyond face value, it serves as a reminder that even the most overlooked coins can hold hidden worth. Next up, the 1944 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, especially those rare examples that appear in rusty or heavily aged condition after decades of circulation. While many people assume corrosion or discoloration destroys a coin's value, in some cases, these aged appearances can actually signal authenticity and historical significance that collectors find extremely appealing in today's auction market. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938, featuring the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side and his historic Monticello estate on the reverse. However, the year 1944 holds a very unique place in American coin history. During World War II, the United States changed the composition of the nickel to conserve critical metals needed for military equipment. Instead of the usual nickel alloy, 1944 nickels were made from a special blend of copper, silver, and manganese. Most wartime nickels from 1942 to 1945 featured a large mint mark above Monticello on the reverse side. However, some coins are mistakenly believed to have no mint mark due to heavy wear, corrosion, or rust-like environmental damage that may obscure the mark completely over time. This is why many circulated examples today appear as though they were struck without any mint identification. The 1944 Monticello Jefferson nickel displays Jefferson's left-facing portrait on the front, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1944." Over decades of use, rusty or environmentally damaged coins often lose some of Jefferson's finer facial features, making the portrait appear smoother or darker than usual. On the reverse, the Monticello building is shown with inscriptions reading, "E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America." In rusty condition, the surface may appear rough, dull, or uneven, which can be the result of oxidation or long-term exposure to moisture and air. Despite this, some architectural details of Monticello may still remain visible, which plays an important role in determining collector interest and auction value. Because 1944 wartime nickels were made with a different metal composition that included silver, they have always attracted attention from collectors. Finding one today in heavily worn or rusty condition is not unusual, but locating an example that still maintains visible design elements despite environmental damage can be much more difficult. Collectors often search for these coins because they represent a significant moment in American history when everyday currency was directly impacted by global conflict. Even rusty examples can hold historical appeal, especially if they remain uncleaned and untouched. Natural aging, when not artificially created, can sometimes increase a coin's desirability among certain collectors. So, what is a 1944 Jefferson nickel worth today? In heavily circulated or rusty conditions, standard examples may sell for $588 million depending on how much detail is still visible. However, because these wartime nickels contain silver, their intrinsic metal value alone can make them worth more than face value. In auction settings, coins that maintain readable inscriptions or partial Monticello detail have been known to sell for $588 million or more. Rare die varieties, off-center strikes, or coins with minimal structural damage can reach even higher values in competitive bidding environments. If you come across a rusty-looking 1944 Jefferson nickel, avoid the temptation to clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and remove natural toning that collectors often value. Instead, store the coin in a protective holder and examine it under proper lighting to check for remaining details. If the coin appears to have better than average preservation or unique features, it may be worth having it professionally evaluated. Authentication and grading can help determine its true rarity and potential auction value. The 1944 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel may appear damaged or rusty at first glance, but its unique wartime composition and historical significance make it an important collectible in today's rare coin market. Even in worn condition, these coins can attract attention and bring in surprising auction prices. Before you dismiss that old nickel as worthless, take a closer look. It might just be a small piece of history with a big value waiting to be discovered. Next up, the 1978 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, especially in fine condition, has quietly gained attention among coin collectors and auction buyers. While it may not appear rare at first glance, certain well-preserved examples of this coin are becoming increasingly desirable in today's numismatic market. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since 1938, replacing the buffalo nickel with a more classical design featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. By 1978, the United States Mint was producing millions of these coins annually to meet everyday economic demand. Nickels produced in 1978 without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not consistently include mint marks on its coins until the 1980s. These coins were released into circulation across the country and used widely in daily transactions, meaning many surviving examples today show signs of wear. However, coins that remain in fine condition where important design details are still clearly visible have become much more appealing to collectors. The 1978 Monticello Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side, accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1978." In fine condition, Jefferson's hair details and facial structure remain partially sharp, showing moderate but even wear across the surface. On the reverse side, the Monticello building is prominently displayed along with the inscriptions, "E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America." One of the most important details collectors examine is the clarity of the steps leading up to Monticello. Even partial visibility of these steps can increase the desirability of the coin in the collector market. Although millions of 1978 Jefferson nickels were minted, finding one today in genuine fine condition is not always easy. Years of circulation have worn down many of these coins, leaving fewer examples with strong design elements intact. Collectors are particularly interested in coins from the Philadelphia Mint that show minimal damage and consistent wear patterns. In some cases, coins from this year may also feature die variations or striking differences that further increase collector demand. As more people begin searching through bankrolls and old coin jars, the demand for better preserved examples continues to grow. In general circulated condition, a 1978 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may only be worth slightly above face value. However, in fine condition, these coins can sell anywhere from $94 million depending on detail and surface preservation. Coins with sharper Monticello features, minimal scratches, or attractive toning have been known to sell for even higher prices in auctions and online marketplaces. Exceptional examples with rare die varieties or superior preservation may command significantly greater values among serious collectors. If you believe you have a 1978 Jefferson nickel in fine condition, it is important to examine it under proper lighting. Look closely at Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello steps for remaining detail. Avoid cleaning the coin, as this can reduce its collectible value. Store your coin in a protective holder to prevent further wear, and consider professional grading if the coin appears to be in above-average condition. Authentication can help determine its true rarity and auction potential. The 1978 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may seem like an ordinary coin, but its condition and preservation can make all the difference in the collector market. Fine condition examples are becoming increasingly sought after, with auction values that sometimes exceed expectations. So before you spend that old nickel, take a moment to inspect it. You might just be holding a hidden collectible worth far more than 5 cents. Next up, the 1946 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, specifically those in good condition. Many people overlook coins like this, assuming that wear and age reduce their value. However, in the world of coin collecting, even circulated coins from the mid-20th century can hold significant historical and financial importance. A 1946 Jefferson nickel may seem ordinary at first glance, but its rarity, historical context, and growing demand make it a coin worth examining closely. The Jefferson nickel was first minted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel and introducing the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. The year 1946 was particularly important because it marked the first full year after World War II in which the United States Mint returned to producing nickels with the standard copper-nickel alloy. During the war years from 1942 to 1945, Jefferson nickels were made with a silver-based alloy to conserve nickel for the war effort. Coins produced in 1946 without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. At the time, Philadelphia coins typically did not carry mint marks, which can sometimes make identification trickier. Millions of these coins were released into circulation, but decades of use have left many of them heavily worn. Despite their circulation, surviving examples in good condition remain of interest to collectors, as they offer a glimpse into post-war America and the everyday currency of the era. The 1946 Jefferson nickel in good condition features the familiar left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1946," clearly visible, although the finer details of Jefferson's face and hair may be smooth from years of handling. On the reverse, Monticello is displayed, along with the inscriptions, "E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America." In coins graded as good, significant wear is evident, and many of the architectural lines on Monticello may appear faint or partially eroded. Even so, the general outline of the building, Jefferson's portrait, and the inscriptions remain distinguishable. These characteristics are essential in assessing both the condition and value of the coin for collectors. The 1946 Jefferson nickel had a large mintage. Finding one today in good condition that has survived decades of circulation is less common than it might seem. Many coins from this era were lost, damaged, or discarded, making those that remain increasingly valuable to collectors. The historical significance of the post-war production, combined with the lack of a mint mark, adds to the interest among numismatists. Collectors often seek these coins to complete Jefferson nickel sets or to highlight early post-war coinage. Coins in good condition offer an accessible entry point for newer collectors while still providing a tangible connection to U.S. history. In good condition, a 1946 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark generally ranges in value from $2 million. The price depends on how much of the design remains visible and the coin's overall appeal. Coins that are well preserved for their grade, with readable inscriptions and a recognizable Monticello, can fetch higher prices in auctions or private sales. Exceptional examples, or those with minor die variations, may even command values above this typical range. If you come across a 1946 Jefferson nickel in good condition, it is important to handle it carefully. Avoid cleaning or polishing the coin, as this can reduce its collectible value. Instead, store it in a protective holder to prevent further wear. Examining the coin under proper lighting will allow you to see remaining details and assess its quality accurately. Coins in good condition can also be combined with other Jefferson nickels to build or complete a collection, increasing their long-term value. The 1946 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may appear modest at first, especially in good condition, but its historical significance and collectible appeal make it a valuable coin for enthusiasts. Even heavily circulated examples can carry both monetary and historical value, offering a unique connection to post-war America. Next up, the 1987 United States Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark, especially those in excellent condition. While it may seem like just another nickel from the late 20th century, this coin is increasingly sought after in the rare coin market. Coins like this one, preserved with minimal wear and sharp details, can attract serious attention at auctions and among numismatists looking to complete Jefferson nickel collections. The Jefferson nickel has been a mainstay of U.S. currency since 1938, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic Monticello home on the reverse. By 1987, the Jefferson nickel had long been an established part of everyday commerce, produced in large quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The D mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, which is known for producing high-quality coins that are often favored by collectors when preserved in excellent condition. The 1987 is not generally considered a key date in the Jefferson nickel series, but coins from this year in superior condition have grown in appeal because many examples were heavily circulated. The combination of age, mint location, and preservation level makes an excellent condition 1987 D nickel noteworthy in today's market. The 1987 D Jefferson nickel in excellent condition displays a sharply detailed left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1987," clearly visible. In coins of this quality, Jefferson's facial features, hair, and the edges of his clothing remain crisp, with minimal signs of wear or friction. The reverse, Monticello, is prominently displayed, showing intricate architectural lines, the steps leading up to the building, and the surrounding details. The inscriptions, "E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America," are clear and easy to read. The coin's luster, which is often preserved in excellent condition, enhances its appeal and distinguishes it from the many circulated examples of the same year. The 1987 D Jefferson nickel was produced in significant numbers. Finding one today in excellent condition is more difficult than it may seem. Most coins from this era were used extensively in daily transactions, resulting in wear and loss of detail. Collectors value coins that have been well preserved, as they offer a glimpse of the coin's original appearance and maintain historical integrity. Demand for high-grade examples of late 20th century Jefferson nickels has been rising among both new and experienced collectors. Coins in excellent condition are particularly desirable for those building complete sets, especially when seeking examples from every mint mark and year. The combination of preservation, D mint mark, and post-1980 production makes this coin increasingly collectible. In average circulated condition, a 1987 D Jefferson nickel might only be worth slightly more than face value. However, in excellent condition, prices can range from $44 million depending on the sharpness of the details, the presence of original luster, and overall eye appeal. Coins with exceptionally well-preserved surfaces and strong strike quality may command even higher amounts in auctions or private sales, especially among collectors seeking premium examples for their collections. If you come across a 1987 Jefferson nickel in excellent condition, it is crucial to avoid cleaning or polishing it, as this can diminish its value. Store the coin in a protective holder or sleeve to prevent scratches or environmental damage. Examine it under proper lighting to assess the sharpness of Jefferson's portrait and the details of Monticello. Professional grading can help confirm the coin's quality and market value, especially if you are considering selling or trading it. The 1987 United States Monticello Jefferson Nickel with a D mint mark may appear to be an ordinary coin from the late 1980s, but its excellent condition and well-preserved details make it a highly desirable collectible. As collectors continue to seek high-grade examples for their Jefferson nickel sets, auction prices and private sale values have been steadily rising. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1987 Monticello Jefferson Nickel. From its rich history and unique design to its appeal among collectors and its potential value in today's auction market, this small coin proves that even everyday change can hold extraordinary stories and surprising worth. Remember, the key to discovering rare treasures often lies in the details. The sharpness of Jefferson's portrait, the clarity of Monticello's steps, and the preservation of the coin's original luster all contribute to its collectible appeal. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just beginning to explore coin collecting, taking the time to examine and preserve coins like this can uncover hidden value and connect you to decades of American history. So, keep an eye on the coins you encounter, store them carefully, and never underestimate the potential of what might seem like an ordinary nickel, because even the smallest pieces of currency can hold a big place in the world of rare coins and auctions.